There are 5 important questions that every person must answer if that person is to live an impactful and fulfilled life. And these questions are, who am I? Number 1. Number 2 is, where do I come from? Number 3 is, why am I here? Number 4 is, what can I do? And number 5 is, where am I going? So who am I is the question of identity, and where do I come from is the question of origin. Why am I here is the question of purpose. What can I do is the question of potential, and where am I going is the question of vision. So in this video, I'm just going to answer the first question, who am I, the question of identity. So here's point number 1. Every person must answer this question if they are to live an effective and fulfilled life. For you to live an effective and fulfilled life, you have to first answer this question. Because if you cannot answer this question, it will be very difficult for you to live a fulfilled life and an effective life. The question is, do you want to live a fulfilled life? Do you want to be fulfilled in life, in all you do, in your business, in your relationship, in or marriage, or in whatever you do in this life? Do you want to be fulfilled? Do you want to be effective? Do you want to be impactful? Then you must answer this question, the who am I question. This question, you must answer it for you to be able to attain that or to actualize that kind of life. So may you be obsessed with this question until you find the answer to read. May you be obsessed, friend, with the May you be obsessed with this question until you find the answer to read. So your identity, or how you see yourself, places a lead on your performance and your potentials. Your identity and how you see yourself places a lead on your performance or your potential or your productivity. Here is a practical example I can give you. If you don't see yourself as an author, you will never write any book. If you don't see yourself as a business person, you will never start a business. So how you see yourself places a lead or places a limit on what you can do. So in order for you to do more, you have to see yourself to be better or to be more than you are right now, because the results that you have right now is because of how you see yourself. The results that you have right now or you are getting right now are determined by the perception of yourself or your self-image. So you need to really have a clarity, you need to have clarity of identity, and not that just the identity that is based on wrong information, because you can have an identity which is based on wrong information compared to the identity which is based on right information. Here is a practical example I can give you. Have you ever been in a situation where a person, for example, you were told to do something, or there is something that you wanted to do, and you thought that you couldn't do, you are not able to do that, you are not qualified, not until someone came along and advised you, encouraged you to do that, or suggested you to do such a thing, and you went ahead and you found out that you were good at it. Why? Because they could see it in you. Now, the reason why you couldn't do it in the first place is because you couldn't see it for yourself, because of the self-image that you had, because of the perception of yourself which you had. So it's very important to have the right identity, not the lie identity, the right identity based on the information, based on the truth. Based on the truth. There is a lot of information out there which are not true. People may have told you things about yourself which are not true, but when you get to know yourself based on the truth, then everything changes. Everything changes. So life is a journey into self-discovery. And the more you know yourself, the more meaningful, fulfilled, and impactful your life will be. It's about becoming the best version of yourself so that you can serve other people better. This is profound. So life is a journey into self-discovery. Every day you are discovering something about yourself which you didn't know. which you didn't know. So it's something that you have to be intentional about. Answering the who am I question is not something that happens by accident. It's something that you intentionally pursue. Like the Bible said, just said in Matthew chapter 7, I think verse 7, where it says, seek, you shall ask and it shall be given, seek, you shall find, and knock and the door shall be opened for you. Friend, finding is for those who are seeking. If you are not searching, then you don't deserve to find. So you need to seek. You need to be seeking the answers to these questions. So for example, you watching this video and making sure that you watch this video to the end will really help you, because you are seeking to find an answer. And in the end, I'm going to give you the answer to the question, who am I? I'm going to give you the answer to the question, who am I? And it's going to transform your life. So life is all about, it's a journey into self-discovery. We were created to serve one another with God's gifts that God with gifts that God deposited in each one of us. So that's why we are here. It's self-discovery, but there are gifts that God has deposited in each one of us. Some of the gifts which we may not be aware of them. We may not be aware of the abilities of those gifts that God has placed within us. So it is up to us. It's when we discover those gifts that we are able to serve others or one another in a better way. So discovery, now the journey into self-discovery helps you now to unlock or to discover these gifts, these abilities that God has deposited in you, and that changes everything. That changes everything. So friend, as we are trying to answer the question, the who am I question, one of the things you need to know is that when you were born, when we are born here on earth, and as we grow up, we are told a lot of things, and that ends up forming our identity. Most of the time, we are exposed to wrong information than the truth. So as we are growing up, we have been taught a lot of things. Some of you, maybe you were told that you are nothing, you amount to nothing, and that is not the truth. That is not the truth. But in most cases, we find that we end up believing what the world has told us. We end up believing what people who didn't know better, they told us, and we believed those words. And it's those things which they told us which that have formed our identity. So we need now to be exposed to the truth so that we may be transformed, so that we may be changed, so that we may be empowered, we may be liberated, like Jesus said, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. So it's the knowledge of the truth that brings freedom, that ushers you into freedom. So as long as you're exposed to wrong information, you live in bondage. No wonder the Bible says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. So the lack of knowledge keeps you in bondage. And in Proverbs also, the Bible says, by knowledge shall the righteous be delivered. So you need to pursue the truth. You need to pursue to know the truth, because as you know the truth, then there is transformation, then there is change in your life, and you are not going to be the same. So some are fortunate. Now, as we explore this, as we are living, some are fortunate enough to have people who know better in their lives. Hence, they start from a better place, but that's not the case of everyone. So we find that others, when they were born, they were surrounded by people who knew better, and they were told the truth about themselves, and that really gave them an advantage compared to others, because that's not the case for everyone. That's not the case for everyone. So, for example, the school you go to matters, especially when it comes to what you want to learn. You cannot find something where it is not, no matter how long you search. So the school you go to, friend, matters. You cannot go to an engineering school and expect to graduate with a bachelor's or a bachelor's degree in medicine, because that school doesn't offer that program. The school that doesn't offer that program. So the school you go to matters. So the people where we go to seek answers about our identity, about who we are, matters, because when you go to wrong sources, you will not find the truth. You will not find the right information about who you really are. No matter how long you may search, you cannot find something where it is not. So the answer to the who am I question is not your job, is not your job. Your job is not who you are. It's not your nationality or race. That's not your identity. Dr. Miles Monroe said, to know the purpose of a thing, never ask the creation, ask the creator. In the same way, to know an identity of a person, it's very important to really ask the creator, because your identity is tied to your purpose. Your identity is tied to your purpose, and the one who knows the purpose why he created you is the creator. So you need to ask God. Now, let's really explore this even as we are about to conclude. So in the same way, to know who you are, you don't ask yourself, you ask your creator. This is because your information is limited to your exposure. So there are people who preaches so much about asking yourself to really know who you are, like to find out, to discover, you need to sit down and ask yourself. Yeah, as much as that is important, if that is not being done on the foundation of you already being exposed to the truth, that will never work, because your information is limited to your exposure. So if you have not been exposed to the truth, it will be very difficult for you to really ask yourself and find out who you are, because you have never been exposed to the truth. So that can only work if you have been exposed to the truth. So you ask the one who created. So the truth is that without information from our creator, we have no idea who we really are. Everything else is guesswork or experimenting. Everything else is guesswork or experimenting. Friend, you were created by God. And God is the God of purpose. There is a reason why He created you. You are not a mistake. You are not an accident. You are God's initiative unfolding on the earth. So the good news is that our Creator also wants us to know our identity, and He has made the information readily available for us to really access. It's not something that our creator is trying to hide from us, but it's something that he really wants us also to know. He's really committed to revealing this information to us, that we may know who we are, because only after we know who we are, only then can we be effective and can we be impactful in fulfilling our assignment here on earth and the purpose for which he created us to accomplish. So now, as I conclude, the creator has revealed our original identity through his word, which is contained in the Bible. So if you really want to know who you are, your identity, ask the creator, and the creator has revealed our identity in the Bible. Our identity is revealed in the Bible, though we often tie our identity to things or our experiences and people, but the identity we get from these things is not our original identity. That is why we are to refer to God's words to remind ourselves who we are. So, friend, now who are you? To answer this question in a simple way, like in summary, in a nutshell, you are the image of God. The Bible says, God said, let us make man in our image and after our likeness, and let them have dominion over all the creation. So God created mankind in his own image, and the image of God is, the word image is a representative figure. So your identity is that you are the image of God, and you are here to represent God on earth in the field which He has ordained for you, and to have dominion in that field. You are here to represent God in the field which He has ordained for you, and to have dominion in that field. That is your identity. Your identity is that you are the image of God. You are the image of God. That's who you are, the image of God. The image of God. What does that mean? What does that mean? So if you really want to know more on this one, you really want to really unpack what that means or to explore what that means to be the image of God, you can check out in my link. There is a course on Udemy. You can check out my course on Udemy. I've made a course on this one, and I believe it's gonna really help for you. It's gonna really be help for you. But all in all, as I conclude, I want you to understand that you will never perform beyond the perception you have of yourself. You can never perform or do beyond the perception you have of yourself. And the way the perception of yourself determines how you perceive the world around you. So who are you? The answer is that you are the image of God. Friend, you are the image of God. Let that sink in you and explore, meditate on it. What does it mean to be the image of God? You are the exact representation of who God is, and that's why you are here on earth, to represent God on earth and to have dominion in the field which he has ordained for you. So thank you so much for watching. Kindly subscribe and God bless you.